Welcome back to the series, and I know that a lot of stuff has gone down in the last couple of episodes, but today we're taking a break from all of that because the season has ended and it's time for the Summer World Cup qualifiers. We're playing with Chile, of course, we're in a good position, and Lorenzo Castorre wants to be in his first World Cup with his national team. We were playing Ecuador, who have had a very good tournament so far, and it didn't take long for Castorre to do what he does best. He won a penalty inside the box. Last time he did that, he ended up getting a really big injury that made him miss out the entire rest of the season. But this time he was fine, just a penalty won for his team. Castorre stepped up to take it. And he delivered it to the back of the net. 1-0 for Chile, we get the lead. And in his return to the national team, he bags a goal. One of the most explosive players of all time. He's been earning so many penalties in Real Madrid and in Chile just by dribbling into the box. We won the match. Brazil drew against Argentina, which means that we cut down the gap to only 4 points with the giants of South America. Against Paraguay, we didn't really have a good game, we didn't have many chances, and probably Paraguay should have won the game against us. But when the match was about to end, Castorre saw himself through, and he scored in the 81st minute to steal the 3 points from Paraguay. A very sneaky victory in a match that we really didn't do much in, but we don't care about that. We care about the fact that we won and Brazil drew again, which means that we cut down the gap to only 2 points with the giants. Castorre returned to the stadium of Colo-Colo, where he spent a year of his career building up as one of the best promising stars in the nation before Liverpool signed him. And in his return against Bolivia, he pulled out this. A magnificent weak-foot strike from outside the box to destroy the back of the net and take the lead against our rivals. It was magnificent from Castorre, who was reaching really his best level ever with Chile. The defenders were pulling incredible acrobatics just to take the ball off him, and he even went over to the defender and said, hey, madre mía tú, vaya marcaje, But there is only so much they can do to stop him from scoring goals. Another brace against Bolivia. The end of the game wasn't as nice though. We wanted to expand our lead, but instead Bolivia cut back the distance to 1. And right at the end of the match, they almost pulled an equalizer. Our defense became too confident and we almost dropped points because of it, but it didn't matter because at the end of the day we won with the 2 goals from Castorre, and since Brazil lost another game where they dropped points, we take the number 1 spot. The following match against Venezuela was quite rocky. It didn't take long for us to go in behind, and things were not looking smooth for us. But in the second half, Castorre activated his beast version. He took a shot from a free kick from literally the halfway point of the pitch, almost like Cristiano Ronaldo against Arsenal. But later, an incredible goal from Lorenzo Castorre Jr, equalizing the match and scoring an absolute beauty, controlling the ball with his chest, well, not even his chest, his shoulder. He controlled it down with his shoulder, accommodated himself and slotted it into the back of the net. Yes, we drew the match, we will remain unbeaten in the qualifiers, which is really impressive in my opinion, and this good form only continued against Peru. Another good goal, this time connecting with his teammate, an incredible 1-2 passing range, and curling it into the back of the net in classic Castorre fashion. The 3 points against Peru tasted very sweet, but what was even sweeter was the fact that Brazil dropped points against Paraguay to extend our lead at the top. And what better moment to face Brazil in the Maracanã than up next. Castorre was running circles around the defense of Brazil. trying shots from all angles, but nothing ended up in the back of the net in the first half. However, in the second half, Castorre was through, and once more with the weak foot, glides it into the back of the goal. And even though Brazil pushed and fought for an equalizer, they were no match for us. And the full-time whistle confirmed our spot in the World Cup. Chile and Lorenzo Castorre Jr. will be at the World Cup in 2030. Next year, next summer, we will be there, and we're going to do everything in our power to go as far as we can and hopefully even win it. The Ballon d'Or winner making history with the national team. After defeating Brazil in the Maracanã and sealing our qualification for the World Cup, we had really nothing else to play for in the final couple of matches in this qualifiers stage. So against Argentina, Chile didn't really come out with too many intentions. And yet still, Castorre got inside the box and was fouled for another penalty. I have no idea what I'm doing to get so many penalties, but it's really satisfying to see. Once again, Castorre stepped up in front of the crowd and scored the penalty, taking the lead against Argentina quite late on, and scoring in yet another consecutive match. It's scored in all the games in this section of the qualifiers. And towards the end of the match, Argentina really needed a goal because they needed to win or at least get a draw here, and they got a penalty of their own. They scored it against us and tied the result. They probably wanted more, but a draw is fine, a tie of penalties. And to wrap up the qualifiers, we beat Uruguay away from home, with Castorre starring in the first goal, creating madness in the box and dribbling past everyone like he was prime Ronaldinho. He was through on goal later in the second half and got his brace in Uruguay. Nothing to stop him from scoring. And in the very final game of the qualifiers, Castorre struck again in front of goal against Colombia, as Chile wrapped up their qualifying stage. Absolute perfection from us, not a single defeat, 11 victories and 7 draws, a very impressive result. We end up 4 points ahead of the giant Brazil, and congratulations of course to them, Ecuador, Uruguay and Argentina, who will join us in the World Cup. Sadly for the others, they won't be able to make it, but all we care about is that Castorre, Lorenzo Castorre Jr. will be in the World Cup to shine and to do everything he can to make Chile come out victorious.